check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3. Under the lights. Mic check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Light.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check. Where you at?
Same mic.
Same mic. Okay.
And let us know in the comments if we have audio. How y'all looking on your side?
Where you at? Same mic.
Good.
Yeah, sounds
So
good.
you're gonna monitor back there?
Mic check 1 2. Mic check.
Y'all ready down there?
Mic check 1
Yeah.
2. Mic check.
I'll put it right here. I can follow it on the other side.
You wanna follow them on?
Yeah, put it right there. I'll follow. Ready, fellas?
Yep.
Yep.
Week 2 high school football underway here in Louisiana. What a week 1 it was, fellas. How's it going tonight from my far end, Mr. Donald Young?
Great, Jordan. Great. Awesome week 1, bro. Ready to get week 2 going.
Mr. Gary Swallow, how's it going tonight?
Going great, man. Great day. Long day, but ready to do some high school football picks.
Introduce you to a member of ours, Mr.
Going.
Mr. Gary Swallow.
Michael Longcliffe.
Going great, man. Great day.
Mr. Michael Lonclose wasn't with us last week, but helped us out in the past. Great to have you back.
Yes, sir. It's good to be back. Get back into the groove slowly but surely. Love high school football and college and everything else in between.
We appreciate everything you've done for us in the past. It
Thank
doesn't
you.
go unnoticed. Mr. Donald, Mr. Gary, we're going to start things off before we get to high school football. I want to let y'all have the floor right here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has it been 20 years or so on? But I'm going to leave things over to y'all. 9/11 tribute
Yeah.
this coming weekend. Give us a little message to the people listening right now and where y'all was that day.
9/11. That particular day, I was recovering from an ACL repair in my right knee, and I was at the time was LeBlanc Chamberlain Martin Physical Therapy, and I just got finished riding the bike, and Jude Martin, good friend of mine, him and Jerry LaLue called me to their office TV, and the conference room. He said, "Man, look, a plane crashed into the building down. What do you think going on?" And that's where I was, 2011. And then we looking, and then here another one come crash, and I said, "Oh man, this is a terrorist attack." I said, "Man, they're attacking the United States of America." Now that's where I was 20 years ago. Yeah. How you, Big Gary?
Hold on, it's the 25th anniversary?
20th.
20th anniversary. What is your initial thoughts going into this weekend? Give us what's on your mind.
Well, first of all, we can't overlook, we can't forget about the 20-year anniversary. We lost over 4,000 lives
In the blink of an eye.
in the blink of an eye, Gary. That will always haunt us at this time of the year. Yes, we got Bin Laden. And, right now they have some guys on trial right now in New York.
Mm-hmm.
They're assisting him in putting out this terrorist attack against our beautiful country.
Right.
It's going to be kind of like a sober week.
Yeah.
Gary?
There's a lot to think about on this. First of all, I had just had cancer surgery, and I was going through radiation treatments and everything like that. My ex-wife was working for the sheriff's department, and I had my brother picked me up, brought me to my treatments, and I came home, and I was laying down in my bed trying to just relax. And she called, and she says, "Turn the TV on." She says, "We're under attack." And she was panicking. I was like, okay. So I turned the TV on just in time to watch the second plane hit the tower.
Wow.
And she says, "What do you think's going on?" I said, "We're about ready to go to war."
Yeah.
And I said, somebody's getting ready to get a lot of bombs thrown their way. And then heard about the Pennsylvania and then the Pentagon and everything, all that. And my first impression was like, oh my goodness. I said, this is crazy. And then, as we found out what was going on and everything like that, and that's whenever the war started. I mean, you understand where we was the military impact and the bringing together of the country
Yes.
was so awesome. It's not like it is now. I hate to say it that way. Now, everybody,
You're right.
you
You're
either
right.
a Democrat or Republican, and you don't care. Back in those days, Democrats and Republicans had different philosophies, but they weren't like they are today. I mean, you either this way or this way, and I can't stand that. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't like politics, and I'll be the first one to tell you that. But at that time, it brought the country together, and we actually unified to get to the bottom of this. 20 years later, you look at where we're at. Honestly, I'm scared because with what's going on overseas and this stuff in Afghanistan and everything like that, we're vulnerable right now, so we don't know what's going to happen. But it is a somber moment for our country to date back and remember that.
Let me say this here.
You know.
If you ever get a chance, if you haven't yet, look at the movie 12.
Right.
The movie 12, please. And it's going to explain a lot of things that happened and how 12 men was assigned to retaliate against the Taliban, for revenge for what they did. The movie 12, awesome movie.
Right.
Let's shift gears to some football here. Couple things to jump off the page real quick. COVID forfeits for the week. You got to touch on that right out the gate. Catholic of New Iberia will get the win over Brobridge. Was looking forward to that matchup this week. Was so ready to pick that matchup. Two great teams are going to play, but Brobridge has been affected by COVID. Catholic of New Iberia will get the win there.
Yeah, that's
Next team to get affected by COVID is Sulphur High School. Notre Dame and Sulphur would have been a great matchup there. 2A versus 5A. Could they go on the road to Sulphur and win that game? And we won't even get to see it. So Sulphur is affected by COVID. Notre Dame gets the win. Notre Dame and Catholic New Iberia both moved to 2-0 in the year. Oakdale and Ville Platte not going to happen this week. Ville Platte has been affected by COVID. Oakdale gets the win, so they move to 1-1 on the year. Also, North Central not playing this week. They affected by COVID also. You hate to see it. Those are a couple of the COVID teams affected in the area. You hate to see it, but that's the rules this year, right, fellas?
Yes, it
Right.
is, yeah.
I mean, you had to come out with something, and what they just didn't want to have everybody rushing last minute, this, that, and the other. And I understand what they had to put something in writing, and this is what they came out with. So, and they voted on it and they approved it, so we have to do it.
Yep. Here's some key points here. Like we said, Brobridge could miss up to 3 weeks. Okay? Here's how. First, they're going to have to spend 2 weeks because of COVID. And week 3, they're supposed to play Vanderbilt Catholic. That game is up in the air right now. So they could potentially not play football again until week 5.
Right. That's true.
So you got to think about that. 3 weeks without football, where's your morale at if you're a team?
Right.
Yeah.
That's got to be, that's got to be devastating. I mean, I know whenever you're looking forward to playing, each week, and then all of a sudden you get that taken away from you. I mean, no matter how good or how not so good you are, you look forward to playing.
Yeah. Next team up, you got to think about John Curtis. John Curtis, first 2 weeks affected by the hurricane.
Right.
Week 3, John Curtis has a bye. So that is 3 weeks there that they could possibly not be playing. They're currently looking for a week 3 opponent to get rid of the bye.
Right.
So 2 teams right there that jumps off of the paper that might not play for 3 straight weeks.
Right.
And then here's an interesting thing I found this week. And Donald, I want to know your reaction on this.
Okay, bro.
If we see this every now and then. It's not a popular thing, but it has happened in the past.
Okay.
Episcopal of Baton Rouge, they will travel to East Feliciana this week. Friday night, they will play East Feliciana in a 9-district game, okay? Here's the tick. These 2 teams will meet again later on down the season in a district game. So that's the cards we're dealt this year.
Wow.
You're going to see those type of matchups because
Excuse me.
teams need opponents.
I wouldn't play that game. I'm against playing a team in the regular season or even in January, and then have to play them again during the season.
Right.
I think that's the only opponent they can find, and it's better than letting your team sit at the house.
Yeah, well, that's my personal
Right.
opinion, and I understand what the coach is trying to do: get their kids on the field, get their playing time. And if that was a situation at hand for me, well, I would go for it, But I mean, hey, you playing a team that you're gonna see later on in district. You're gonna have their scheme down. You're gonna have video footage on them.
What I'd have done probably is I'd have said, okay, I'd have made the agreement from the beginning. I'd have said, okay, first half we're going to do varsity, second half we're doing JV. You got just to get people in there and do it. But that's just my opinion. That's what I would have done because we're playing this game don't count. This game counts. This game we're going to have 4 quarters.
Okay, but this is okay. This is just a regular game.
Yeah, it
But
don't.
then down the line they're gonna be playing for
in the same district.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's crazy, but if that's what they got to do, that's what they got to do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right.
Want to go ahead and thank everyone for helping us along the way, letting us reach a major milestone this week.
Yes.
So-
yes.
Not everybody at this table has been there with us since the beginning,
Yes.
but we have people at this table now. And I'm greatly appreciative to everyone who has come along in this journey, everyone that has supported us, everyone that has been there since day 1 or day 201. It doesn't matter. I thank you from the bottom of my hearts. Holly Revere, she's done above and beyond, and she's still doing it because she doesn't want to be home.
Yeah, she's back there.
Yes.
Big Cody does so much for us. Cooking, supporting, fundraising. Big Mike here, wizard on the technology with the cameras. You can't find much more better than this guy here. Mr. Gary been like a brother to me since day 1. I want to say thank you for everything. Mr.
Hey,
Donald,
no.
fresh into it, and you ain't missed a beat. Thank you for joining the team and giving us everything you have.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, Jordan. I remember last year you approached me with this idea, and I was like, okay, what I know about, and you just so man, just come and freelance,
Yeah.
And we have a great team here. I mean, we have a lot of positive feedback from week 1. We had some people came out and complimented us and gave us some ideas on how to make our show better. And this is only the beginning for UTL. It will get better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Want to say thank you to Keith Crozier, the producer of this whole thing.
Yes, sir.
You're not
The professor.
going to see him behind the camera much on Friday nights, but he will make all the gadgets work. So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you to Keith Crozier. Also Isaac Hayes. Isaac, great man, Christian man, does a
Very
lot
much
for us. He's a wizard when it comes to technology also. Want to also say thank you to Grant and David Gyro. They gave us our first opportunity down in New Roads. Also, Holden Lee, been there since day 1. Can't thank Holden enough for everything he's done. He's a great friend, great supporter of what we do here. Also, anybody else that I'm missing before I go any further?
I think we covered all that. We just, once again,
Who? I don't know what he's saying, but any other team member?
No.
No other team members. Also, he's not with us anymore, but was with us day 1. Helped us start the program. Credit is where credit's due. So thank you to Danny Fontenot for helping us get this thing rolling. Didn't stick around. We can't say that anything further on that, right?
No.
But we thank you for helping us get this on the road, and we're sorry that you couldn't finish the thing out with us. Fair enough, Gary?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that's good with me. I mean that's
Fair enough.
what it is.
all right.
Also want to thank our sponsors from last week. Last week's sponsors, LaCourse Pest Control. Thank you for covering Red Zone last week. Buck and Duck, thank you for covering our yearly plan. Mr. T's Meat Market in Delhi covering first downs. They heard their name a lot last week.
Oh yeah, they did.
The Taco Shack covering timeouts. The Taco Shack made me hungry for some tacos. Thank you to the Taco Shack. Deaton's Cajun Kitchen covering our yearly plan. Thank you to Deaton's Cajun Kitchen, and Mr. Gary Swallow himself, Taekwondo, covered us also. So thank you to those sponsors from last week. Had a lot of great people that's helped us along the way. So thank you to those people. Y'all want to say some thank yous before I shift gears here?
You pretty much covered
You
it,
got it,
John.
man.
Yeah.
Pretty much did. Everybody did a great job. We want to really thank our sponsors from last week. They did a really big job helping us. It was blessing them coming in on board, and we want to thank them. And hopefully we'll get a lot more.
Yes, sir. Also, want to say follow us on social media. Big Cody, if you could put all 3 of our 4 platforms in the comments, that would be great at this time. You can follow Under the Lights on Facebook. You're watching us live right now. You can follow Under the Lights on Instagram. Also, go type in Under the Lights. You can find us on Instagram. And also, you can find us on Twitter at UTL Sports 4. Also, you can find us on TikTok now, Gary. Under the Lights 4. How about that?
TikTok. I'm gonna have to do that.
Hey. So 4 platforms. 4 platforms to follow Under the Lights. It's only getting bigger and better, fellas.
That's
Yes,
right.
it is.
Hey, that's got to take baby steps, but when we're there, we enjoy it.
Also, I want to say the phone lines are open tonight. 337-290-6091. You want to call in, you want to chat with one of us, you got a question, you have a game that you think, a game that you want to talk about, you can call that line and we will gladly have you on the line. Right, Gary?
That's right.
Right, Donald?
Yes, sir.
Big Mike?
Yes, sir.
All right. There's your phone line. Big Cody's going to put it in the comments below. So I covered a little bit of everything there. How about events coming up? The Z-Spice have tryouts this coming Saturday at LCA. Don't miss the Z-Spice tryouts if you want to be a part of the all-women's football team. Huskies off this week. They're going to head to Houston. So they will not be playing locally, so we will not cover the Huskies this week. And Hurricanes are in the off-season. Any events coming up that y'all can think of? Anything going on
Not
St.
right
Landry
off.
Parish-wise?
Not right off, man.
Not
We
right
just
offhand.
hoping to see, hoping the festivals are going to still be around later on. Because as of now, with COVID, a lot of festivals have been being canceled. As of now, we still have. I think the Kraken Festival is still
haven't
on
heard
right
nothing
now.
yet, so I'm
I've
assuming it's still
heard
on.
nothing, and
Okay.
you know, hopefully we'll keep the festivals and everything going. Because I don't know about y'all, but I kind of like going to the festivals. a little bit.
Yes, indeed. How about some shout-outs here? I want to shout out Ricky Aub's photography. Follow him on Facebook and Twitter. How about Taylor Bolton's photography? You can follow him on Facebook. Also, Touched by Grace Photography and Videography. Follow them on Facebook. Also, we greatly appreciate those platforms there, and we greatly recommend those 3 photographies there. Go follow them today on Facebook. Mr. Donald, Mr. Gary, Mr. Keith, this is your time to let everybody know who you are, what you do for a living, and your family. You want to start us off down there?
Yes, sir. My name is Donald Young, Sr. for the ones that don't know me. I'm retired from the Opelousas Police Department. I did 27 years over there. I'm married to Miss Audrey Young, my beautiful wife. We got a call coming in.
Wrong call line.
Wrong call line? Hold on. What's the number?
290-6091.
Mr. Coach Fluges, call on 290. What else?
6091.
6091. 6091. We're going to put you on the air.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Want me to text it to them?
When they call, keep them on hold until I give you the cue that we can go.
290 what, Gary?
Go ahead, Mr. Gary.
290-6091.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gary, talk about yourself.
Well, I'm Gary Swallow. I'm the owner of Tiger Rock Martial Arts in Opelousas, Louisiana. I've been around the martial arts business for about 33 years. Been training for 39, been teaching for 33, almost 34, and been working around the Opelousas area and Acadiana area all the way around. Just loving sports, supporting high school football. Love my Red Devils. I've been around them forever, and at Port Barre, and just trying to give back to the community as far as helping the kids and enjoying some football weather, high school football weather, and college and all that stuff.
Good deal, Mr. Mike. Who are you?
Michael Onklo from Port Barre. Married to Dreamer Onklo. I got six kids.
9091, right?
Oldest one's 23. Youngest one's 2 years old. This past weekend, worked for the Department of Transportation. I was in the military for a little while. I worked for Walmart distribution for 16 years. Try something different, and I'm also in love with Louisiana sports. Everybody pretty much I follow high school sports. Everybody college wise. I'm a big fan of the New Orleans Saints. Who isn't, right?
Right.
Well, Jordan kind of cut me off there because
Go
he
ahead,
knew
Mr.
I was
Donald.
about to say about my Tigers.
Go ahead, Mr.
I'm a
Donald.
big fan of Opelousas Tigers and also Westminster, but I also love all the local schools, Northwest, Opelousas Catholic. I'm a big fan of St. Anthony Parish schools, Jordan.
We are moments away from picking some games for this week, but here we have a caller on the line. You want to bring it over? Put it on speaker.
How you guys doing?
You're on the line with Donald Young, Gary Swallow, Mike Crozier, and Mike Locklos, and Jordan Taylor. Who is this?
This is Damon Flugens. How you guys doing today?
How's it going, sir? Mr. Donald.
Yeah,
Who
this
is this?
Coach Flusion is a big-time AAU coach from Lafayette. Played ball at Acadiana High School, was all district and honorable mention all state, huh?
Yeah, I did a lot of good numbers. So first I want to say Acadiana High gonna win. I'm gonna put that out there.
Hey, big matchup for Acadiana this week. They traveled to Catholic of Baton Rouge last year. That game lived up to the hype, but Catholic of Baton Rouge was on the winning side. Does Acadiana, you said they go down there this year and get it done?
I think we're able to get it done because I know we're going to be able to recover from last week offensively, and our defense is really, really good. So, I'm hoping that we put a few points on the board. I think we should put at least 21 on the board this weekend, and I think that might make all the difference.
So are you saying that you are predicting that Acadiana High will put at least 21 points on Catholic High, Catholic High, Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I kind of predict this. You see,
Okay.
Camco is running the same. He's running the same very offense that we're running. So it was like almost practice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when we bring the veer on the road, we bring it on the road, fellas. You understand?
Yes, sir. You also bring a nice crowd with you. Acadiana travels nice.
Yeah, we do travel nice because we have a built-in legacy of winning, and that matters. Anytime you want to make a program, and you have people like me, I'm on 25 years out of actually being walking in a Acadiana High School campus, and I'm still passionate about the program as if I was still there.
Okay.
I got two questions for you. First question is this Acadiana team in your eyes, after seeing them play week one, can this Acadiana team get it done in three-peat this year? That's your first question. And your second question is going to be, is Acadiana's during pregame, is that the best tailgate spot in the state of Louisiana?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I can make it very simple. Yeah, on both questions. I mean, what we look at is us going to the Dome. I mean, it's probably going to be a different venue this year because of all the different things that's going on in New Orleans. I'm not sure you guys are more equipped to tell me those things, but we just like the old school New England Patriots is to go all the way. That's success for us. We're not trying to get to the semifinals and say good game. We're trying to win it all. And when you come down to South Louisiana, if you wind up in Opelousas and Lafayette, you're gonna eat good. So the tailgating is excellent.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. We got some good food down here.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Good food. Yeah, we can cook in a black pot. And listen, if you put us with a black pot outside, you know you're gonna have problems with it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's Acadiana is all our bus, you know, and I think we're gonna do well. This will be a test because listen, we gotta have our A game every time we play. You understand?
Yeah.
So they're gonna have high energy. It's gonna be a great effort, but we just wear teams down, and our defense, I was happy with what their effort was. So offensively, we can get a few more points to give that defense some cushion to get off the field. Come on, man.
Hey,
Right.
Well, you know, when you're that successful, you always have a target on your back. Everybody's coming for you.
And everybody's bringing their A game.
Yeah.
Hey, back-to-back weeks. Listen to this. Back-to-back weeks, Acadiana will play a state champion.
Right.
Listen to that.
That's
They played the
Come on,
4A
man.
state champion this past week.
Yeah.
They're going to play the Division I state champions of Catholic of Baton Rouge. And I'm not sure with all the allegations, did they strip their title?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
But-
I'm not sure.
But they still won the title last year. So
Now, I want you to understand in this perspective.
Go ahead.
You know, as we've been into doing this for a long time, we got to sit down with high school and you got to call these coaches and get that scheduling together.
correct.
So if I'm a coach and I'm trying to get my scheduling together and I'm calling to get these games, I know what I have. I know if it's going to be a developmental year or if I'm going to have something that's going to be able to go blow for blow with what we're doing. So just think about that, because we could have choose to go play Ascension.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right,
But we going to Catholic High
Right.
because because we're going there for a reason. So I think the coaching staff is beautiful. I mean, and listen, our legacy in our coaching staff speaks the same. But if you're recruiting or getting kids, and I want to say recruiting because we can't say that word in high school football, but if you're getting kids, because that's taboo, but if you're getting kids between university and I-10, we just getting a handful of great, good kids. That's their skill set. If you're looking at the Azalea Park area and you look at the kids that's running back, I got a kid right now, I know his parents, I know his mother, but the legacy and the kids that we're getting from this area, the Truman, the Azalea Park, it speaks for themselves. They can play. And, most of the time we're getting our linemen from the Scott area. And, I mean, they go there ready to be linemen. They go there ready to block, So we got a good thing going on. And I really do believe that it's going to keep going. I mean, we're looking at about, 15, 20 years of this, what we've been doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Right. And I wish people would appreciate us like the John Curtis.
Let me ask you something before we hang up with Coach Flusius. Let me ask you
Go
your
ahead.
opinion on what the Louisiana High School Athletic Association is just ruled maybe 2 days ago. How do you feel about allowing the kids from southeastern Louisiana that's affected by the storms? How do you feel about giving them an opportunity to play in a high school they want to?
Listen, I believe that's the right thing to do, because when we think about kids, and if we look at the upper level, or we look at kids that's not promised to go to college and play on any level, NAIA Division II, the high D1, this is the core time of their life where they can get a team concept, because when you're working for companies like big time companies, you got to be a part of a team. You can't be individually just walking around at a job site. But they're learning some things that they can't be taught just by walking around in the daily world. Now we're losing a lot of kids, so we need these kids to be involved in sports. So we shouldn't handicap them for a national disaster that happened that we both. And I listen to this perspective, and I hate to ramble, but this is the thing. Some of these kids suffer from COVID. They suffer from not being able to play on the within their team concept last year. So I mean, we're going to be talking about 2020. Now we're going to be talking about 2021. But high school was some of the best ball I've ever played. And if something would have happened in 94, 96 that I wouldn't been able to play, I mean, it could have been life changing. These kids need to be a part of a team, and they need to have as much opportunity that they can to run and jump. Because, once you start looking at, young adult lives, a lot of times we don't get a chance to play on the next level. So
All right.
I'm agreeable to that. And if anybody is not agreeable to that, we have to question, their mindset.
Well, we greatly appreciate you calling in today. Outstanding phone call. I can't wait to talk more football with you in the future. Mr. Donald, final words.
Thank you, Coach Flugis, and we're gonna talk tomorrow. You and I.
All right.
Thanks a lot for
Appreciate
calling
you
in.
guys.
Appreciate your comments.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Awesome, Coach.
Yeah.
Awesome, Coach.
Thank you for that phone call. Phone calls are open all night. 337-290-6091. You want to call in, you want to chat, you want to talk about your favorite team, you want to talk about your upcoming opponent. We can take coaches, we can take parents, we can take whoever. You got something you want to rant about? You got something you want to get off your chest? You want to talk high school football with us? We're here for you tonight. So, phone lines are open. But let's go ahead and jump straight into your top 3 upsets from last week. We're going to start from my right and work our way to the left. Your top 3 upsets from last week. Go ahead, Mr. Donald.
I will say the first one, and this was a shocker, but I picked it. Opelousas Catholic over Eunice High School.
Yes.
My friends, the Mayos out there, I know they're not too happy with me, but I called that one. Also, Madison Prep. Madison Prep took down STM with a last-minute field goal. That's a big upset.
Yes, sir.
And and then in my opinion, the third one is Brobridge over Nish.
Okay.
Right.
Brobridge went to Nish house and took him down. Yeah. That's my 3, Coach.
Mr. Gary?
Well, he must have been reading my mind because that's what I wrote down too.
Okay.
But that one. But also, I just want to say that there's a lot of. I was just so impressed with the competitiveness of the state champions playing against state champions this year. So that's my top 3 things. Top things that I could say is these defending state champions actually playing each other.
Yes, yeah.
They weren't afraid to go out there. You had Acadiana and Karen Crow. I mean, you had that in itself to me was just amazing, and it ended like I thought it was going to end, but it was such a tight game. But to me, these state champions actually going against each other at the beginning and not just scheduling games to have them. Actually finding some competition.
Yeah.
So that was a top thing for me.
Here's my top 3 upsets from last week. I'm going to take Leesville going to Jennings and knocking off the Bulldogs,
Yes,
shutting down
yes,
HEN.
yeah.
That's my number 1. My next one, which will be my number 2, will be Mangum going to Oak Grove and knocking off Oak Grove at Oak Grove. They had an 18-game win streak on the line, and they got knocked off at home. I like Mangum on the road right there. That's one upset of the week. And number 3 will be, where we at? Union Parish going on the road and taking down Manny at Manny. Not an easy place to win.
Right.
So that's my 3 there. Holden?
Yeah, I'd say my number 1 was Union Parish over Manny. That's the defending state champion, and in Manny, that's a tough opponent.
I'm gonna stop.
And then my number 2
You can name
was my number 2 was OC upset Eunice,
it. Good one.
and my last one, I just had it marked down. Was Mangum upset Oak Grove.
I think Breaux Bridge beating Nish was huge for Breaux Bridge, especially right now before they go out with that COVID. Leesville beating Jennings was also huge for Leesville, OC was a big shocker that they went ahead and beat Eunice. Nobody seen that coming, but that was good for OC.
Okay. How about we go top 5 headlines from last week, fellas? I'm going to start this one off.
Okay.
And y'all can feed off me if you want. First headline of the week. Zion Chris outduels Walker Howard in St. Thomas More Country. Number 2 will be Kinder uses a 2-point conversion under a minute left to beat Welsh in a crazy finish. Number 3 will be Trey Holly too much for Manny as Union Parish goes on the road and gets it done. Number 4 will be brand new coaches, Travis Blaze and coach from Beauchamp,
Coach Jones.
Coach Jones, gets it done in their week 1 first win of the season. So that's a headline there. New coaches get first win. And number 5 will be Acadiana's defense. Too much plus special teams gets it done at the end with a blocked punt at home. Who wants to go with the next top 5? Top 5 headlines from last week. Mr. Donald, you got 5 wrote down.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go because you gave a majority of mine. But I have maybe 2 of them. COVID causes cancellation
Perfect.
around the state.
Perfect headline.
And
Hurricane effects.
and you ain't gonna like this one, but I won't call this an upset, but in our area, this is what they were supposed to win. UCLA hosts LSU, but Chip Kelly took advantage of the loopholes and can you say the word loopholes?
Yeah.
In LSU defense. Chip Kelly is one coach around that's around the state that could call the perfect plays at the perfect time, and that's what he did. He crossed up those linebackers for LSU, and he got his tight end 1-on-1 with a linebacker. And I mean, you got to take your head off to Chip Kelly. And now they're calling for Coach Orgeron to be fired. Come on, people.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, 2 years ago, the man just won a championship. Okay, we went 5-5 last year. You know, if you never played football, a competitive sport, and you know you just like the winning side of it, you know, I mean, be quiet.
Yeah.
You know, we all, I'm pretty sure, all of us up here play sports, and you know, come with losing, you will win from losing. You know, some will come out good out of this. You know, give Max Johnson a little time. I mean, conference is gonna start for another 2-3 weeks, I think. How we go, Mississippi State or something.
Right.
I mean, give our guys time to come up.
They need time to jail.
Go ahead, your turn.
Yeah, these kids need time to gel with these coaches. It's a new transition from last year
there you
to
go,
this
Mike.
year.
Yeah,
It's different. You know,
you're
these
right,
guys
Mike. Yeah.
are transitioning with a brand new offense and a brand new defense. Bo Pelini was a heck of a coach himself. And I think in a way he could have stayed an extra year. You never know what LSU defense could be this year also. But this defensive coach this year needs also a chance to prove what he can do.
Right.
And it's also his first year calling defense.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. You got an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. This is basically their first time running the helm. So, but you know what I noticed, and this is the only thing, and this is my opinion, I saw the lack of ability to make in-game changes.
There you go. Yeah.
That's what I saw,
Yeah.
and I'm not downgrading them or anything like that. I mean, I'm a LSU Tiger, just like I'm a Port Barre Red Devil. I just saw a lot of different, a lot of things that happened that were not changed. But I mean, that's going to take time for them to get their experience and everything down. So I mean, I see a bright future. That was one of my top 5 things. The Mangum ending Oak Grove's win streak, the first 2 things, and the defensive battle at Ash and Carencro. I mean, and I say it was a defensive battle. That punt block and safety was done at the end of the 3rd quarter, so they had to stay. That defense had to stay really, really focused and shutting them down. So that was, to me, that was the top 5. And like I said, I'm as far as LSU, I think it's going to be just a matter of them, getting the hang of it and making those in-game adjustments. I think it's going to be fun.
Okay. We'll save the college for another show.
Yeah.
Let's get the ball rolling here. Any more headlines in the high school field before we start picks? Anything, fellas?
No.
Nah, this
I'm ready to
Got
go.
any
I'm ready for the
headlines?
picks, bro.
Let's
Got
do
any
it.
headlines?
That's it.
Alrighty, let's jump straight into some picks, and we will start off. And anyone who wants to follow us in the comments making your picks, you can make your picks along with us. Call lines are still open, 290-6091. If you have a specific game that you want to touch on, we'll touch on it. All right, let's start some picks. We will start off with Thursday night football from Under the Lights.
Can Pond Perry do it again?
We're about to find out. Here's where we're going to go. We're not going to go side to side. Just jump in when you're ready to make your selection, okay?
I'm easy.
Thursday night football. Starting off 1-0 Pond Prairie. They're going to hit the road and travel and play 0-1 Elton. Here's the kicker. This game will not be at Elton. This game will be played at Jennings High School. So, neutral site for both teams. I don't think Elton's field is playable. I could be wrong there. Somebody let me know in the comments. But the game got switched today to a different field. Pine Prairie at Elton. I think Pine Prairie gets it done on the road, and they move to 2-0.
Yep.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree. I think that Pine Prairie is going to win and solve a close game against Elton.
Yeah, it could be a close one here. So, we got Jay. Miss Cookie, you want to write these picks down for me? I'm going to take forever if I try. Right here. 5 across the board for the first pick.
My beautiful wife.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Your second game of the recap of the cap. We're going to switch things over here. I'm not going with the next one. I want to give a shout out to Taylor Bolton and the Acadiana Christian homeschool football team. You heard me right. Homeschool football team. They are 1-0. They will hit the road and take on a 1-0 Burkefield football team. Does a Acadiana Christian homeschool team get it done on the road? Coach Taylor Bolton. I think they do. Fellas?
Well, I don't know too much about neither one of the schools. Is this their first year competing?
No, they won a national championship last year.
Oh, excuse
Oh, really?
me.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, then I think we're going to go with them.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
gonna
decide
ride
with
with
you
them.
on that one.
Where's Burkefield? I mean, where that's located?
I think they're going to New Orleans
Okay.
or to Houston, one of the two.
I'm gonna ride with ACHS.
Tag Taylor Bolton in the comments and tell him to call in the show. Tell him to call in to talk about his homeschool team. All right, 5 across the board there. Next match up will be 1-0 Madison Prep at 0-0 Southern Lab. This game will be played at Southern University. Madison Prep last week tackled the giant STM theirself, and Madison Prep, that's all you have to say. They get it done on the road 2 weeks in a row.
Yes,
Southern
sir.
Lab, no
Yeah.
slouches, but I think Madison Prep too strong.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Madison Prep's going to come out and coming off of that victory over STM, they're just going to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, Madison Prep's going to keep on rolling.
Holden?
Got Madison Prep also.
5 across the board. Everybody likes Madison Prep on the road. How about Scotlandville and East Ascension hooking up this week? Both teams will play their first matchup. Both teams looking for their first win of the season after missing week 1. Both teams hungry to get on the field. I think Scotlandville too much
Yes.
on the road, but East Ascension will keep it close.
But this we separate the men from the boys.
Yes.
You know, 'cause
This is
Scotlandville-
5A football.
There you
Right,
go, at
that's
its
what I'm saying.
best. And Scotlandville gonna bring that heat.
Right.
I'm going with Scotlandville on this one, guys.
I think so too. I think East Ascension's going to give them a hard time, but I think Scotlandville's going to come out on top.
They're going to give them all they can handle.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think Scotlandville's gonna come out on top.
5 across the board. How about Iota in St. Louis?
Wow, and they got upset last week.
St. Louis went down to Crowley, took care of business.
Yeah.
Iota fell at home.
They're home against Iowa. Huh?
Yes, sir. Iota is 0-1. St. Louis is 1-0. St. Louis at home will move to 2-0. And that's hard to believe that Iota could fall 0-2 to start of a season because of how good they've been the last 10 years.
Right.
Putting that pressure, Jordan.
You like Iota on the road?
I like Iota going on. I don't see Iota losing 2 games in a row. I think their defense is too good for that. I mean, the defense got caught off guard last week, but Coach, I have to ride with Iota on this one. I think Iota go to St. Louis and upset them. Gary, what you think about that?
I'll be honest with you. I think the home field advantage with St. Louis, and then the fact that they've had to recover from all of the stuff that they've had in the past. I think that they're hungry. I think they're going to take it. I think it's going to be a close game.
Well, you didn't
I
mean
think,
to mind him
yeah,
all,
you
then.
could almost flip a coin on that, but I think it's going to be a close game. But I think St. Louis is going to take it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Iota.
You like Iota?
Yeah, I'm going to ride with Iota on
I
this
can't
one.
I can't see them losing 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Holden?
That's why it's high school football, boys. The pass. St. Louis.
All
St.
right,
Louis
all right, big
moves
guy.
By
to
10 or more.
by
All
10
right,
or
Cody,
more.
I got you. I see you down there, Cody.
A big hole.
That's
Holden.
That's Holden. That's Cody.
Oh, hold. Okay.
Holden, Cody.
Okay.
Coach Travis Blaze, call lines are open. You just found an opponent late this week. If you want to talk about your upcoming opponent, the floor is yours. Next matchup, the game that we will cover. The game that we will cover tomorrow night. 0-1 Vermilion Catholic at 1-0 Opelousas Catholic. Opelousas Catholic surprised the state of Louisiana last week and went down to Eunice and beat Eunice. Then you have Vermilion Catholic falling at home to a really good Catholic New Iberia team. So this is our final Thursday night football game. Does Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagles go on the road and tackle the Opelousas Catholic Vikings, or does OC get it done at home?
I think OC gonna get it done because Vermilion Catholic exposed the weaknesses last week. You know, they no disrespect to the Screaming Eagles, but they wasn't screaming last week. You know, and I think OC gonna feed off they look. We was talking about home field advantage and get tailgate. OC don't have a bad tailgating party either. You know, and I really think OC gonna feed off of their crowd. I'm gonna go with OC on this one.
Gary?
You know, we watched them at a scrimmage and stuff, but you know, OC seemed to surprised me doing what they did against Eunice. So they must have fixed a lot of the stuff that we were talking about the week before. I'm gonna say OC in a close one.
Close one? Okay.
I agree. I think the OC is gonna win by like 2 or 3 points. If that's gonna be a very, very, very tight game.
Yeah, I like both of this matchup here. I like both teams. I think whoever has the least amount of turnovers and
right.
mistakes and who can win the special teams battles gets it done at the end. I like OC at home.
Yeah, I checked the Vermilion Catholic score. They played a tough school, Catholic New Iberia.
Right.
They didn't score only but 6 points, but that's against a good team. So I'm a roll with OC just because, like our boy Flappy told me, that's the reason why they beat Eunice, because they did show instead of the wing T, they came out of the spread a few times and kind of caught them off guard.
Right.
So I'm a roll with OC.
So they started mixing it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna give them an advantage, I think.
So that's our Thursday night games. And we moments away from going into Friday night games, but we have a phone caller.
All right.
You're on the line with Under the Lights. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Well, Jordan, you know, you called me out by name, and so you said to call and talk about my opponent. So I said, well, let me give some love to Under the Lights here.
This is Coach Travis Blaze, correct?
Hey, Coach Travis.
Yes, sir. That is. That is me.
Coach Travis, I got a couple questions for you right out the gate. First question will be, how's the team last week against Jeanerette? Didn't hear much. I heard your running back ran crazy. And what was the play like last week for your team? First game under the belt.
You know, our kids came out, and I think there was a little jitters. You know, Jeanerette doesn't get enough credit for the type of players they had. They've been very young the last couple of years. A lot of talent on their team, and so, you know, they kind of punched us in the mouth early, and, you know, we made some early mistakes. We fumbled and threw an interception, but once the kids settled down, they trusted the game plan, and, you know, we wanted to take advantage in the run game where we could, and, you know, I think our O-line did a heck of a job. Had a couple of injuries to overcome, and yeah, the running back went crazy, but you know, we did a really good job in the special teams aspect of it, and that gave us, I think, the ultimate advantage to go 1-0. And so the spirits are high. The kids have had a pretty solid week of practice, and now that we have an opponent, we're just kind of looking to build off of that momentum.
That's my next question. I saw you on Twitter earlier in the week, and it was a kind of last-second opponent added here. What was your Week 2 opponent? What happened, and how did Northlake Christian become this week's opponent?
So we were scheduled to play Covenant Christian out of Houma, and I had been in contact with Pope John Paul because they were playing Houma Christian, so we figured we would have this neutral date. And he called me Monday and said he was going to play Pearl River, so we lost that opportunity to play them. So, I mean, I looked around for opponents. Some of the guys that called were just bigger schools, and, you know, I just didn't want to put our kids in that situation. And I'm going to say Monday afternoon, Coach Willis and Northlake called us and said, hey, look, we're looking for a game. And Northlake had actually played Pope John Paul, so I said, hey, they look about the same, and I think it's a good matchup for our kids. And, you know, selfishly from a coaching perspective, Coach Willis has a great pedigree on the defensive side of the football. So, you know, I looked at it as a challenge for our offensive staff to go over there and try and score some points against a great defensive mind. And, you know, so our kids are excited to have a game. And, I mean, that's the big thing. These seniors have worked their tails off this summer, want to make sure that they had the opportunity to play every chance we get.
Yes.
You know, nothing's promised in this COVID world or you know, with the natural disaster. And so, hey, we got a chance to go play somebody. We're going to strap up and go play.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about your preparation leading into this week, and also how's your kids injury-wise? You have an injury report. How are you going into the game?
So we're down a couple linemen. We lost one during the jamboree, and we've had a guy who's kind of been on and off, and he'll be sitting out this week. So you know, we're a little banged up on the offensive line, but, you know, we're healthy in the skill positions, and, you know, we got some guys that are really stepping up. We got some guys playing out of position, but that's the beauty of 1A football. You know, your right guard might be a wide receiver one play. You just never know.
Yeah.
And the week of preparation's been really good. I can honestly say yesterday was the best practice that we have had since I've been there, from summer till now. And, you know, we built off of it, had a really good day today. And, you know, so I think the kids are just excited, because I think in that moment you think you're not playing a game, and then you get the news, hey, we're playing somebody, it's a good opponent. You know, we have to kind of turn it back on. And so, I mean, the kids have been really excited. I know the coaches have had a little extra pep in the step, and, you know, an opportunity to go play a quality opponent and kind of see what we're made of.
And, Coach, we're still good for next week, right?
Yes, sir. Hanson Memorial at home. And I tell you what, seen Hanson on film, and if you look at their scores, they're much improved. So, you know, this is, you know, no game is ever a cakewalk in high school football, and I believe that you guys are going to be coming catch a quality football game. They're spreading that out. I think there could be some fireworks here, and they're a lot like us, and I think it's going to be a great matchup. I'm excited, but, you know, right now our focus is to go 1-0 Northlake Christian, and then we'll start getting ready for the Hanson Tigers.
Fellas, any last questions for Coach before we get him out of here?
Just good luck. Godspeed, Coach.
Yeah.
Coach, we wish you the best of luck Friday night. We can't wait to see how the team does, and we'll look forward to seeing Westminster football next Friday night.
Absolutely. A couple of things before I hang up here. Gentlemen, thank y'all for what you do covering high school sports and giving some of these kids that extra spotlight. I think it's a wonderful thing that you guys do. I think it's great to kind of add that extra light into high school sports. And I must say that blue helmet out in front looks good. So it's great. Good job.
Gary wanted in front of him this week. I don't know what's going on.
I can't
Well,
tell.
hopefully Gary brings some good luck to us. So.
We're going to work it. We're going to work it.
Coach
All right,
Travis.
hey, I appreciate y'all, fellas.
Coach Travis from Westminster taking on North Lake Christian this week. Safe travels. We wish you the best of luck.
All right, yes, sir, fellas, all the way.
That was Westminster head football coach Travis Blaze. Thank you for the call in. Great guy there, fellas.
Yeah.
What you got? Talk afterwards? All right, Friday night football. Let's get this ball rolling.
Let's get it.
We covered our Thursday night games. If you're still with us, and we have a question here, what do you think of the LCA and Lafayette High matchup? I have it marked down a little bit later in the Friday night games, so we will touch on that one in a little bit. Let's jump off the board here. Friday night football, and we are going homecoming night. Couple of alumni on the table. Where you graduated from, Mike?
Fort Barry.
Well, we got 3 alumni on the table here. A 4th one right there, and then a 5th one over there. Mr. Donald's OHS, Mr. Holden's Fountain Blue. So we got 5 alumni in the house, and we will kick things off with 1-0 Beauchamp at 0-1 Put Barry, 0-1 from COVID last week. So, does Put Barry play inspired this week? Do they get the crowd behind them? Do they play excited? And do they put it on for the alumni that are coming back to watch this team play? Can they get it done against a really good, improved Beauchamp football team? I'm going to start it off. Mr. Donald, I know where you're leaning. Go ahead and say it.
Well, I'm looking at my wife because I don't want to say the same thing because she works at Port Barry High. She would like to get a little kiss before we go to bed tonight. But I think, seriously, on a serious note, I really think Beauchamp is still riding high off a day win. And like I said, Coach Jones is coming in with a new package for his offense and his defense. No disrespect to Port Barry on their homecoming week, but I think Beauchamp gonna get it done, Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Gary, are you making a heart pick here? Are you picking with your heart? Are you picking with your mind? Do you think the Red Devils get it done at home?
No, I'm going with my head.
Are you going with your head?
I'm going with my head. My heart is with the Port Barry Red Devils, and I got a lot of friends that actually go to Beauchamp and have their kids go there. This is the dilemma that I have. Like I say, Beauchamp played a game and Port Barry has not. Port Barry has a couple injuries that I know that I just found out about, and can they recover? And I'm hoping that it's going to be a close game. And in my heart, I want Port Barry to win, but in my head, I think Beauchamp is going to be too much. So I'm going to go with Beauchamp.
I think that Fort Barry is recovering from that COVID thing. It's homecoming week. They're going to go ahead and try to play inspired football against Beauchamp. I got them winning some of a close game against Beauchamp.
Oh, go ahead.
So first Port Barry here.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm going to go ahead and say, have not seen Port Barry play football yet,
Now
Gary.
you riding, Jordan. Now you riding.
They took a big injury this week with one of their good players getting injured. So how would that
What
factor?
position he played? That
One of their skill guys.
Skill guys, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So taking a big hit there. I think you have a lot to play for this week. It's homecoming night. Who does not get excited for homecoming night? It doesn't matter if you're 0-9 and homecoming is week 10. Those guys will get excited for a homecoming.
Correct.
If it's the first game of the season like it is, them guys are, in their minds, they're 0-0 right now.
Right.
COVID took a loss from them, but they're 0-0 right now in their minds, and it's homecoming week. I think they play with a lot of energy and motion, and I think they get it done at home in a close game. I don't think you're going to see a lot of points scored Friday night.
Okay.
I agree.
I hope you're right, but I'm still picking Beauchamp.
Hey, we picked the Boyles a few years ago, and Port Barry beat him.
I
Remember?
know, remember that. I
So,
remember that.
I have to see him play first.
Yeah,
I
and
have
that's
to see
the
him
thing.
play
I
first.
really do. Now, like I said, I'm a Port Barry Red Devil through and through, but gotta go with my head.
Holden.
Yeah, I haven't seen Port Barry play. I seen Cody post a video today. They got a few big boys on there. I know Owen and them. He's a good hell of a ball player for Port Barry. But I haven't seen them play, and I'm gonna just go with Beauchamp. And it's hard to say just because I haven't seen Port Barry play. But I wouldn't be surprised if Port Barry wins, and it's a really close game.
Okay, so with 3 Beauchamp, 2 Port Barry. Hey, it's a nice split there. You can't go wrong with 3-2.
That's right.
It's not 5 across the board, so good to hear. About your next matchup. Oh,
Lord.
where's the helmet at?
I'm still polishing.
Still polishing the helmet up over there
Still
because
got love for my orange and white.
Opelousas High, their home opener at Donald Gardner Stadium, Friday night football under the lights against a red-hot, really good Bossier football team, Donald. I want to know your insights. I want to know what you're hearing. I want to know all the little pieces before I make this pick. 1-0 Bossier against 0-1 Opelousas High. Can Opelousas High get their first win in front of their home crowd, Mr. Donald Young?
Well, the thing about it, I'm always going to pick Opelousas High School. If they playing against a kid at a high school, I'm going to pick Opelousas High School. But on a serious note, the coaching staff at Opelousas High School is a top notch, you know, and the kids, you know, they just have to learn how to win again. And guys, you know, Bossier coming in with some heat, but I'm thinking Opelousas High School will get it done. I'm thinking that the home crowd gonna be the difference here.
You gonna be there Friday night?
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
You gonna keep us updated?
Yeah, I will.
Good deal.
All right.
Mr. Donald.
I'm going with the Tigers on this one.
Of course.
Mr. Garrett.
I knew that. Sorry, Donald. Gotta go with Bossier.
I understand. We still friends.
Hey, we've been knowing each other too
For a
long.
long
for that.
time. Let it pick come between us.
That's
But
right.
I, you know, in my heart, I'm with Opelousas High School. I'm like you in the head. I'm gonna say Opelousas High School could upset them.
Right.
Hey, it would be an upset of the week.
It would, and I'm gonna tell you, I agree with you. Opelousas High School is on the right path to getting better. They just need to get that mindset and get believing in it. But
Yeah.
I still think Bossier's going to come in and be too much for
I
them.
understand.
I think that Bossier is gonna beat Opelousas High. Opelousas needs to find a way to start winning again,
Yeah, man.
like they did back in the 90s. If they can find that swagger, they could be back real fast. But I think that Bossier's gonna win this one here.
Yeah, I think this is one of Bossier's best teams
Right.
that they've had in recent years, Mr. Donald.
Okay.
If Opelousas can limit the turnovers and win the special teams battle and play inspired football in front of their home crowd, I think they keep it close. But I still think Bossier wins it at the end. I got to go Bossier.
I understand.
Mr. Holden?
Bossier Bearcats. I played them one time. We played with Fontainebleau. They usually a good school. I think Opelousas having a freshman core. I don't know. I just think Opelousas, they're a little young. They got some good sized kids. I think, like Mr. Gary said, I really do. They're on the right track. I just think they're too young. That's just how I feel. I'm
Now,
gonna go
talk
with
to me
Bossier.
next week, and I might put the Tiger helmet on, Mr. Donald.
Next week?
I might put it on next
What do
week.
you got next week?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
I might put it on next week.
I'm
I'm gonna pick him before the year's over with. How's that?
All right.
Next game will be the Westminster Christian Academy Crusaders.
0-1. That's the motto.
1-0.
1-0, big dog.
1-0.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 1-0.
They're gonna
I'm
hit
back.
the road
I'm back.
and take on North Lake Christian. Like we said, we don't know much about North Lake Christian, but we're all for Westminster at this table. I'm gonna go ahead and say this 1-0 ball club gets it done on the road and become 1-0 once again. So that would be really 2-0, but they call it 1-0 down
Right.
in Crusaderville.
Right.
So give me Westminster.
Same here.
Same here.
Westminster.
Yeah, I know North Lake Christian. They're not that good, so I'm going Westminster by a lot.
Get it done, Westminster.
Well,
Ugly.
I'm holding the piggyback of what you said. Yeah, Westminster had some success against the North Lake Christian the past couple of years. Yeah, so
They're from Covington. We played them a lot. I'm just
Yeah,
going by off of history.
yeah, they're not really good. Yeah.
I'll tell you what a tough pick this is. You got St. Ed's, the Blue Jays, versus the Basile Bearcats. We were supposed to come and do this game this week. I heard a lot of noise about Basile might not have their full team there, Gary.
Right. Yeah, we heard that.
I heard that they might have to play a lot of JV players this week, Mr.
Right.
Donald.
How's that? What happened?
I don't know, Mr. Sam Bacon, the phone line is open. If you want to call in and tell us what the heck is going on in Basile, the floor is yours. But I'm hearing that it might see a lot of JV players play Friday night. Could that influence
Could that be a
influence your pick for this one? St. Ed's or 1-0. Basile 0-1 via the COVID relations forfeit.
Right.
This game was hyped up for over a year now. Everybody said week 2, Basile St. Ed's is must-see television.
That's why we planned on
Yes.
doing it.
St. Ed's on the road at Basile. Who gets it done?
St. Ed's.
I think St. Ed's is, from hearing what everything else is going on, no offense to Sam Bacon and them and all those Basile Bearcats, we love you guys, but like I said, I got to go with St. Ed's.
I think that if Basile had their full squad, I would roll with them.
Yeah.
But being that it's the other way around, I'm going to go ahead and say St. Ed's.
Sorry, Sam. Full squad or not, I think St. Ed's because they have a very good team this year.
Well, guess what, folks? I'm just going to pick against the panel for this one. I'm going to say freaking Bearcats at home. Why I made the pick, I'll let y'all know later on this evening. But I'm going Basile at home.
Okay. All right. That's your
Hey,
pick.
if you know something that I don't know, then you should have told me. From what you said before,
Hey,
I
don't
got to
bet
go
the
with that.
spread. Don't bet the spread, and don't put money on the game.
Okay.
Don't bet the spread. Don't put money on the game. But I still like the Bearcats.
Okay.
Only one. I'm only one going for Sam Bacon and the Basile Bearcats, and I think, you know what else I think? I think, where is it at? I think Horace Edwards will be the difference maker in that one.
Really?
That's that running back, huh?
He is shot up. He is huge this year, and he's
Yeah,
explosive
he
as
was
all hell.
Very impressive.
He's fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
is.
think he's the difference maker in that one, but I don't know how many starters are out, so we have
Right.
to wait and see.
So you changed his pick to St. Ed's.
Oh, no.
No.
All right, next game up. Oh, my. Iowa at Kinder. 1-0, Iowa at 1-0 Kinder. Kinder gets it done in dramatic fashion last week. Iowa beats Iota on the road last week. Iowa seems to be a really good football team this year. And Kinder, heard they lost one of their best players in the Jamboree. Remember that
Right.
coach told us?
Right, correct.
I don't know, man. This is a tough one to pick. I'm going to have to roll with Kinder until they prove me differently.
The thing that's hard for me on this pick is how good was Iota? You know, when Iowa beat and all this. I'll be honest with you. They're playing at home. I'm gonna give Kinder the edge. Just playing at home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna.
And it's
go.
military night over there this week.
Oh, that's gonna be So I'm just gonna give them the edge. I think it's gonna be a close game, but like I said, home field advantage. I got to give to Kinder.
Anybody that could go in Iota and beat Iota on their home field, they got my vote to win this week. I have to ride with Iowa.
Okay.
I have to. I don't know too much about these two schools, but Iowa had a very impressive win against Iota, so that's why I'm going with them.
not just that, they dominated that win too. And that is I think Kinder is a heck of a team. They showed heart and grit to come from behind and beat Welsh in the closing seconds of the game.
Okay.
And I was cheering for them more than probably Fountain Blue last year. I went to almost every playoff game, including the championship, but I'm going to have to go with Iowa this game.
I'm going to go ahead and roll with Kinder. It's a very, very close game.
Yeah, if it is.
I think it's damn close.
Yep. Next game up will be 1-0 Vinton at 0-1 Welsh. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off, Gary.
Okay.
Your MVP of last week's game was a team that lost.
Right. Most definitely.
I think number 32 runs wild in this one and has a huge night. And I think Welsh Greyhounds gets it done
Yeah.
at
Right.
home.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to agree
going
with you
Welsh.
on that one because they had basically a thunder and lightning backfield between number 32 and number 5. I'm gonna tell you right now, if they continue to run those two guys and they keep doing what they're doing, they're gonna win some games, and I think it's gonna start this week.
Yes.
I can't see Welsh going 0-2. I'm going to go ahead and give them a win also.
There you go, Mike. Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking on here. I think that's one of the best, not saying the best, one of the better 0-1 teams that's on the board right here. I'm going with Welsh.
Yep, across the board. Next game up, 1-0 Grand Lake at 1-0 Lake Arthur. Lake Arthur got a win via COVID last week, and Grand Lake got it done at home. I'm going to start this pick off and say Grand Lake, the runner-ups from a year ago, go on the road and tackle down Lake Arthur and get it done.
Yep. Me too. Grand Lake.
I agree. Same thing.
That's been a consistent good team in baseball and softball, I think, too. This is
Correct.
nice. But
That's some good
Grand Lake
athletes over there.
I'm going to go ahead with Grand Lake also.
across the board.
Are they 1A or 2A?
1-8.
One
Okay.
They lost to Oak Grove in the state championship last
And I
year.
think
Right.
one
Okay.
is wide open.
Okay.
Right. I agree.
Next match up will be Delcom 0-0 versus Hanson Memorial, which is 1-0. They won big last week. Get to cover them next week. Excited for that. I think Hanson Memorial makes this 2-0. And if Westminster wins and Hanson wins, this is going to be a battle of undefeated teams next week. So I like
Yeah.
Hanson Memorial at home.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
go with
rolling with
Hanson.
you.
Hanson.
Hanson's.
I got Hanson Memorial winning huge also.
How about Patterson playing 2 games in 1 week? Did you hear that?
No.
Patterson played West St. Mary Monday night. Got it done big. They won Monday night. They come back and play Friday night against Franklin. So you got the Hornets versus the Lumberjacks, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to roll with Patterson here. Gets it done
I
in the same week, 2 games.
I watched that live feed. Man, Patterson got some big boys.
Right.
I'm going with Patterson on
They
this one.
they
yeah.
dominated that game. I'm going with Patterson.
No Chris Esprit, not Franklin, huh?
Who's that running back from Patterson? Who was it? He's one of the all-time leading rushers.
Chris Esprit, you going against the Lumberjacks?
Dalton.
Next matchup.
I'm going to go ahead and roll with Patterson on that one.
Oh, I thought you already picked it,
Not
dog.
yet. I was hearing y'all.
0-1 ERAF at 0-1 DeQuincy. Something's got to give. Somebody's getting their first win, and it's going to be
E-Rap.
ERAF.
Yeah.
I
Erath
got
is the
Erath
first
also.
win.
I got Erath also.
5 across the board. Getting a lot of picks here we're agreeing on, fellas.
Right.
It's going to get harder in a little while. Trust me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
I see it.
you might as well take these easy picks right now because it's going to get harder. Next matchup, Central Catholic versus Abbeville. Abbeville, I told you them boys were for real. They went on the road
Right.
and played at Northwestern State, somewhere over there up north, and beat St. Mary's. They're going to play at home against Central Catholic. Abbeville is going to move 2-0. I'm sorry to say it. They're going to be 2-0 this year. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll agree, Jordy. I think Abbeville's
Yeah,
going to do it.
Abbeville gonna take them.
I agree. Abbeville.
You,
And I got Abbeville also.
Holden, you just talked about Welsh may be the best, one of the best 0-1 teams on this paper tonight. but I can match you one real quick.
Cecilia.
Yeah.
0-1 Cecilia could be the best on the paper.
Yeah.
They could be.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say they was the best.
They
but
could.
yeah.
They could be.
I'm
picking them.
I picked Cecilia in a blowout.
Cecilia at Rain, both teams 0-1. Cecilia ain't gonna stay 0-1 long.
Mm-mm.
They're gonna win this one in a rout.
Yeah, Cecilia's gonna move to 1-1.
Whatever happened to Rain? They used to be a dominant school.
About Marksville. About Sacred Heart. 0-1 Marksville at 1-0 Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart won via forfeit last week.
Right.
So, can they get it done at home to make it 2-0? I don't know, y'all.
I got Marksville.
Yeah.
Nick's going to that game.
I gotta go with Marksville. Jordan.
I'm a roll with Sacred Heart on this one.
Big D.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the loner right here on the table, on the panel.
I'll roll with Sacred Heart also.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Sacred Heart also, Big D.
Okay.
3 Sacred Hearts, 2 Marksville. I just don't know much about either, but I seen Marksville get shut out by Bunky last week.
There you go.
Right.
That's it. Sacred Heart over Marksville.
Sacred Heart,
Marksville.
Sacred Heart.
I got
Marksville. Your next matchup will be 1-0 Avoyles at 1-0 Carroll.
Carroll High School, Jordan.
Damn good football team.
There you go, bro. I know this
You
program.
know who else is a good football team?
What's
Mr.
that?
Donald?
What's that, bro?
Avoyles High
Avoyles.
School.
So you tell my voice having a change?
I
in
tell
it?
you, Avoyles will control the clock.
Well, that's what was told to me last week.
Yeah.
But Carroll gonna score and score often, cause the defense gonna stop Avoyles.
Avoyles wins the coin toss. They will take the football and go chew up 9 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna see, bro. We're gonna see. But I'm gonna ride with Carroll on this one, Miss Holly. What you got, bro?
I don't know. I'm waiting on here on Gary.
It depends on which side of the bed to get up on, man. I don't know. They played well. I'll go with the Boils.
Mike,
I'm gonna go ahead with the Vols on this one.
Holden.
Vols have been good these last few years. So, going to Vols.
Yeah, I got to pick them until they prove me wrong. I got to go with Avoyles myself.
I hear you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to Carroll.
Yeah.
Up north. You know, I mean, Carroll, that's a hard place to win.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
know,
I give you that.
I played up there and I escorted Appaloosa High School up there a couple of years. It's a hard place for both football and basketball. Hard place to win.
Yes, sir. Next matchup will be the Raiders.
The Raiders.
1-0 Raiders.
Coach Edwards. Chris Edwards, if you could hear, has been called in on this one, Coach.
Coach
What
got
about-
social media?
Huh?
Coach got social media?
Yeah, you do.
Against 0-1 Crawley. Does Crawley's new head coach get his first win as a head coach? Or does Chris Edwards and the Northwest Raiders make it 2-0?
Alice Fono, how about you call in on this one? Alice 290-6091. Give us your intake on this. 290-6091.
Tell me how good the Raiders are this year.
Well, this game right here, gonna try it. Gonna test them.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna roll with the Raiders on this one. I think Coach Edwards got the team rolling in the right direction. I believe in the quarterback system, what they have. And I went to their practice one day, and then I saw them practice. You know, and I like the receiver and the quarterback combination. I'm gonna roll with the Raiders on this one, Mike. What you think, Mike?
How good is Crowley?
0-10 last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0-1 this year. But
And
new
they're not returning much either.
Yeah.
new coach coming in, changing the culture over there. So
So they might need some more time to gel
Right.
still. I'm gonna go ahead with Northwest on this one.
So, Coach Esper, Chris Esper, you gonna be crowd on this one? Okay. Gary?
I'm gonna go with Northwest, man. I think Crowley needs a little more time to gel. I think that I think they're in the like we were talking earlier about OHS. I think they're going in the right direction, but I think they just need to start getting that winning culture again.
And like Rain, what happened to them, Gary? I mean, all of a sudden they're nose diving.
No, right? Yeah, that's just
Yeah, I went with Northwest also.
yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Raiders myself. I think that the Raiders bounce back this year in a big way. They're going to make a push in 3A.
I think so.
You know who else is going to make a push?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Laurelville.
Laurelville.
And this is a little error. They're not 1-1. They're 1-0.
And hey, what I told y'all about those twins?
Hey, them
The
twins
quarterback
are
in
the
the-
real
We
deal.
watched them.
Yeah, the quarterback, Mike. They have a quarterback, and they have his twin brother is the receiver.
How about the
You know?
Laurelville Tigers on the road for the second straight week? They're going to go take on 0-1 North Vermilion. And back-to-back weeks, I think this is route. I think this is going to be
Yeah.
another route.
I think
Yeah, it
Laurelville's
should
going
be
to put it
across
on
the
them.
board.
Yeah.
I agree,
yeah,
same thing.
Gary, I think
Laurelville.
Laurelville will take this one, bro.
Easily Laurelville.
Right.
A couple of 0-1 teams that aren't familiar in this territory.
Right.
A couple of 0-1 teams. Listen to me now.
I'm listening. I got something to say. But go ahead.
They're not familiar in this territory. You know who those two teams are?
Mm-hmm.
The Jennings Bulldogs and the Eunice Bobcats. Have you ever seen these two teams starting off 0-1 in
No,
recent
no.
history?
That's why I said, you guys a few minutes ago, y'all see the best
0-1.
0-1 team on this sheet of paper is Cecilia. Fellas, don't talk down on Eunice just yet, man.
I would take Jennings as the better one.
You'll
0-1.
take Jennings over Eunice?
I heard Eunice ain't even all that good this year. I'm taking Jennings.
Well, I'm rolling with Eunice. I'm rolling with the Bobcats on this one, guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll.
Holden, we're gonna have to see on this one.
I'm
We
gonna
got
go
to
ahead
talk
and roll
about it
with.
Friday night.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll with Eunice getting their
We're
first
gonna
victory.
talk about it when I'm in first place.
All right, bro. All right, big dog. We gonna see.
I got to go with Jennings. I'm going to go with Jennings, too.
Oh, Lord, that's the ETN. Oh.
I'm gonna have to say Jennings and ETN bounces.
You can't change your pick now. Keep your
ETN
pick.
bounces back this week, Gary, in a big way.
Big, yeah, I think
You
so.
gotta
too.
keep your pick down.
Yeah, I know. You saw what I did? I said,
I heard you.
Donna, you want to change your pick? You can
No,
change
no,
your pick.
I'm sticking with Eunice. I'm sticking with Eunice on this one. And then they're at home, so
Yeah.
I'm sticking with
That's
this.
going to give him
I know he's the only one Eunice.
yeah, everybody else.
A couple of 1-0 teams here.
Ooh, here we go.
A couple
This
of
is gonna be-
3-8
this is gonna be
Giants.
This gonna be good. This gonna be good. But
Church
then they
Point
took Kaplan.
did not play last week. They won via forfeit.
Did you ever
Right.
see a home game with Kaplan? At oh,
They're gonna
yeah.
play
yeah.
1-0 Kaplan. I
All right.
think Church Point lost in the semifinals last year.
Correct.
Kaplan lost in the semifinals a couple years ago.
So how we go on this?
Both of these two teams are respected in the state of Louisiana. That's the
Oh,
first off.
God, yes.
Okay? Both of these two teams are run their offense to a T. Name better offenses in the wing T fashion than these two teams right here and locally.
The only weakness I could say that Kaplan have is that they coach left.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a new coach.
And John Craig is still in the door at Church Point.
That's what gets me. You have, I mean, I'm sorry. You got a team that, and we used to say that's some corn-fed boys in Church Point.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in any disrespect, but it's just that's some big boys. I gotta go with Church Point. I'm sorry. I gotta go with Church Point. Kaplan's gonna be tough and everything, but I know what Church Point got.
I think Church
I'm going
Point. I'm
Church
with
Point.
Gary. I gotta go with Church Point
Yeah.
on this one.
John Craig had 2 weeks to prepare his team for Kaplan. I think that's all the difference in the world. He'll have his team ready to go, and I think they can make another push in 3A.
Correct.
I got Church Point winning.
Thank God Church
So
Point
Chris,
game
that's what
was
you got
canceled
Church Point
because of
too, huh?
COVID, because that would have been very bad. But I got Church Point again in the semis this
Yeah.
year.
Right.
Yeah, they could get there.
They didn't lose that many, and they
That
have
would
an
be a
awesome
low,
feeder
that would be a
program, man.
10-7, 17-14 type of game. Low scoring. Don't expect a high scoring
Right.
game at
They're
all.
a contender again.
Yeah.
Next game up, 1-0 Turlings at 1-0 Como. Como got it done 1-point fashion last week. New coach in town gets his first win.
Right.
Turlings looks like the red hot team out the gate. Jamboree, they beat Southside. And then last week they beat OHS.
Yeah.
They are a red hot football team playing with a lot of confidence right now. They're gonna keep that confidence. They're gonna go on the road and they're gonna take down Como in this one.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Same thing.
Yep, I got Turlins also.
5 across the board for Turlings. We got
This
oh
is
my
gonna be
goodness.
bad.
Hold on,
I'm
hold
sorry.
on. Hold on. We talked about
This is gonna
we
be
ta-
bad.
Hold on.
Baby.
Oh,
Baby.
Donna,
Yeah, I'm listening.
we talked about the best 0-1 team on the paper. I
Yes.
just found them.
Yeah, he's right there.
I just found him. How about the Karen Crow Golden Bears? They fell to Acadiana 9-7 last week off a blocked punt. What an
Right.
outstanding football game.
Right.
You got Southside coming into this one, losing to Notre Dame last week. Pretty much, it did not get easier. I think it got tougher.
Oh, I think this is
I
going to
think
be.
it got a lot tougher.
I think this game right here is going to be. And as much as I like Coach Bono at Southside, guess what? I think this is going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Mr. Donald, you picking Southside again,
No,
right?
Karen Crow, because Karen Crow got a chip on his shoulder.
Oh,
They do
God.
because they lost a game to Acadiana, which they in their heart and their mind they know they should have never lost that game. Karen Crow goes to Southside and he spank them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be ugly.
I
It's gonna,
agree.
yeah, it's gonna be ugly. I'm sorry, Brad Boy, but I have to go with the Crow on this one.
I agree. I got Karen Crow winning.
Yeah, Karen Crow, DeVere, all night, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna hate me.
Come on, Southside. You should.
I watched Southside Notre Dame's podcast. That was a damn good game.
I
y'all.
watched Southside too. Whenever they had to pass the ball, they look like a completely different team.
Yep. But you know what, y'all?
Oof.
I'm going with Southside with the upset.
Oof. Not at the Crow Dome.
Yep.
At
Not
the
at-
Crow Dome.
Not at the
At
open
the
air
Crow
Crow
Dome.
Dome.
Next week, I want all y'all to look at me and say, Holden.
He been drinking.
Hey.
You want some type of
Chris,
influence.
Chris
You want
said
under influence or something.
Karen Crow might score 100.
I'll bet you on that one.
They're gonna make a statement. They will make a statement.
You know, I'm not saying I'm not confident behind that pick, but man, Southside's dude. They played
Oh,
Notre Dame good.
Let me
man.
tell you something, man. And like I said, I think
Yeah, but Taylor's, I think, is
Southside.
actually the real deal.
I think Southside is, for as new a team as they are. I mean, you got to understand, this team has not been in existence that long,
No, they haven't.
and they're doing really, really well. But I think they are about another year or two away from dominance, because where they're at, they're drawing a lot of good athletes, and this coaching staff is one of the best.
I can't wait to see their stadium built.
I can't wait to. Once they get their stadium built, I promise you they're gonna keep it going, and they're gonna have it every year. They're gonna be contenders.
We ain't supposed to use that word recruiting in at the high school level, but let me tell you something. You have Como, STM, and Southside all within that little area. And
Oh,
please
yeah.
believe me, they're all fighting for those kids.
Right.
And the more Southside wins, the more they are pulling kids to their program. Fellas, you know, like I'm gonna go with Gary said, another 2 years, Southside gonna be, will be
Well, I'm
one
not
team to be
confident
reckoned
behind
with.
that pick, but man, the boys played Notre Dame good. Man.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, I agree. I agree
We'll
with you.
try.
Old.
We'll try.
How about this next game here? 1-0 St. Martinville, your potential 3A, 4A champs. What are they? 3A or 4A?
They're what? They're 4A, I think.
They
No,
might be.
3A. They're 3A.
It might be 4A. I don't know.
'Cause
But
OHS
I
is
think
4A.
that they have a chance to be title contenders this year. St. Martinville gets it done on the road, big fashion.
Right.
Yeah,
I
St.
agree.
I agree with you.
St. Martinville.
How about St. Paul's?
Excuse me, man.
St. Martinville is 3A, guys. St. Martinville is 3A.
That's who I picked to win the state title this year.
St. Martinville?
Yep.
Watch out for St. Martinville,
They're gonna be tough. I'm
Union
telling you.
Parish, Madison Prep, and so on. Alrighty. You can't count out Lake Charles College Prep either.
Right.
All right, next matchup, St. Paul's at Zachary. Zachary
The Z.
beat up on West Feliciana last week. I think they get it done again, this time at home.
Yeah, Zachary
Let's see.
all the way.
Zachary.
I will tell you this: I played against St. Paul's. It's a Catholic school. Do not sleep on them. They're very good, but never in my life will I ever pick them. I hate that school. So, Zachary, please, I'm begging y'all.
The Z, baby.
The Z. Gotta go.
That is a very, St. Paul's is very, very, do not be shocked if they do pull up a win.
About Bruley. 1-0. They got to hit the road. They're going to take on Parkview Baptist. I'm going to start this one off and say Bruley's defense gets it done in a close game. How about a 10-7, 13-10 type of deal? Bruley defense gets it done on the road.
Yeah, I think so too, George.
Yeah, I'll
I
go
think
with Brewer
Brewer.
on this one.
They always got a good defense.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with
Brewer.
Parkview on this one.
Parkview Baptist.
Whoa!
Really?
Hey, Mike
At
with
home.
Parkview.
At home. Close
Okay.
game.
Holden?
Oh, I'm going Bruley.
Bruley? Yeah, defense stings, baby.
Ooh, this is gonna be a good game. That's coming up one too.
You know who's been Catholic of Point Capiz Achilles heel these last few years?
Ascension of Pittsburgh.
Ascension Episcopal.
But they're at home,
Yeah.
and that's why I gotta give them advantage at Jordan. You know, they're at home. It's hard to beat Percapete at home.
You know what? You got 0-1 Ascension Episcopal at 1-0 Catholic of Point Capiz. You want mean and nasty football? You're gonna get it right here.
Right there, yeah.
You want well-coached football? You're gonna
Both
get it
sides.
right here.
Both sides of the ball.
You want kids that are
Yeah.
gonna give you heart, grit,
Yeah.
determination for 4 quarters? You're gonna get it right here. And I think Ascension Episcopal goes on the
Offset.
road, gives Catholic of Point Capiz hell, but I think this is Catholic of Point Capiz's year to get that off their back and finally get over the hump. They finally get Ascension Episcopal off their back and get their win. Their
Right.
much needed win.
I guarantee you that my brother from another, gonna come up with a game plan to beat them.
Hey,
I'm talking about Coach Benny Belair.
I think they're 0-3 right now against them.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I got Catholic at home. Gary?
I'm going with Catholic Point Capiz.
I'm going with Catholic.
Catholic Point Capiz, baby.
5 across the board. How about Lafayette? How about LCA? How about the Battle of Lafayette? Right here, baby. The Lions took care of Ascension Episcopal in overtime last week.
Right.
LCA took care of Westgate by 2 scores last week. LCA at home, tough place to play.
But yes, it is.
Yeah,
You know, no
yeah.
disrespect to Lafayette, Coach Figueroa, but you know, I think LCA just too much at home. I'm rolling with LCA on this one.
Yeah, I got
I'm with you too.
LCA can be a little too tough.
Yeah.
LCA gets this win and sets up a huge dance next week with Acadiana.
You're right. I can't wait to see that game.
You know what? Big Carey from Stack, his son plays for Lafayette.
Okay.
Them boys are good, man.
Yeah.
But I'm going with LCA.
Yeah, until somebody knocks LCA off in a regular season, which could be next week. Until they knock them off in the regular season, because these boys are going for a 5-peat. Once again, I said 5-peat.
One team has done that.
Lafayette
Young Curtis.
are a good football team, but I think LCA is at their peak right now. So I got to say LCA.
This is a tough matchup.
Phew, look at this one.
Right.
1-0 of Wichita Parish at 1-0 Neville. Neville Rustin lived up to the hype last week, didn't it?
Yeah, sure
boy,
did.
they did. I have to go with Neville on this one.
I mean, you got to say
I'm with you
Neville
on that.
at home
Oh,
is
yeah.
the difference maker.
Right.
Yeah.
Home field advantage.
Home
is,
field advantage
is,
in this
is
one.
what it is. Yeah.
These guys pack a stadium and know how to have a home atmosphere. I got to say Neville at home is the difference maker.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
Neville in a
Wichita's
close
always
game.
tough, but I'm going with Will Campbell, LSU commit, Neville, baby.
Neville in a close one.
How about 1-0 Sterlington?
There we go.
excellent.
Oh man,
There
at
you go.
1-0 Mangum, fellas.
brings
This
it in
could
for
this
the
could be
boys.
this could be a playoff game down the road in 2A football.
Week
Right.
two, week
the
two, and they
name
got
from
these
the
tough
boys.
Week
matchups.
2
That's
and
what I'm
these
saying.
two teams are
Look
playing.
at all these head-to-head matchups in the first 2 weeks of the game of the
Yeah.
year.
Always good.
Isn't that awesome?
These teams are not taking it.
Oh,
I
no.
mean, they get into that heat. You know, they get into like you see that white meat quick.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, they don't have no easy no easy teams to play around.
Hey, I got
Right.
that wrong, Mr. Donald.
Uh huh.
Mangum's 2A, Sterlington's 3A. So they will
Okay,
not
that's
meet in the
fine.
playoffs.
I have to roll with
Man.
I have to roll with Sterlington on this one.
You see, I'm going with Mangum.
I'm up with Sterlington on this one. Close game.
I think it's
Yeah,
going to
it
be
will-
real
it will be
close, and I
close.
think Mangum's going to pull it
I
out
think
at home.
You're looking at
Okay.
two A state championships with either St. Martinville or Mangum this year. But I'm going with Mangum to beat Sterlington, who every year is a damn good team.
This
So
this
I-
one's a flip.
So
This one.
I'm the
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
the decider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 2 for Mangum, 2 for Sterlington. Yeah, 2A. One's a 2A team, one's a 3A team.
Right.
Mangum's the 2A, Sterlington's the 3A. So 2 Sterlington, 2 Mangum. I gotta say, Sterlington gets it done in this one. I gotta go Sterlington after they put up 50 last week.
It's
Right.
either or
Yeah,
with
there
these
you
two
go.
teams. It's
But
either
I think
or.
it's going to be.
Well, Holden, you look at it, they put up
Heads
50
or tails?
points.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it is.
Heads or tails, Donald?
I go with Hayes, bro. I go with Hayes. I got to take Sterlington on this one. Yeah.
It's tough.
So 3 Sterlington, 2 Mangum.
Oh, now this next one.
Oh man.
This next one, dude. Oh, you want to talk about
Man.
throw up something in the air and just pray that it
Yeah.
lands
How
on
about
something?
another coin flip,
Oh,
Mr. Donald?
God.
Yeah,
man.
and you see, you can't. Oak Grove lost, but you can't.
Hold on, who we playing? Y'all
Yeah,
talking
but-
about a matchup down there.
Yeah.
Exactly, but you
who's the
can't say
matchup?
they lost
Watchdog
bad.
Christian and Oak Grove, man. You got to understand this. You got someone that had an 18-game winning streak
Yeah,
snapped.
yeah.
That is going to come out with flames shooting out somewhere, and you got a
was against Mangum, right?
a defending. Well, no, they were runner-ups last year. A runner-up state championship, as in Watchdog Christian. It don't get no better than that.
Exactly.
I'm going Oak Grove at home.
There you go. That's what I
I'm
see.
gonna go ahead and follow you, Oak
That,
Grove.
I'm
Mangum beat Oak
Grove.
Grove right last week, and that's the main reason why I'm also picking Mangum to beat Sterlington. Anyway, I don't see Oak Grove losing 2 in a row. And
Oh,
Wichita,
no.
Wichita Christian's a 2. We've seen. Remember that quarterback they had a few years ago? He's like 6'4".
Yeah.
I think he was like a freshman or sophomore, so he must have graduated last year. Man, that's a good school. But I'm going with Oak Grove.
Could you imagine if your 4-peat or 3-peat 1A state champ starts the season 0-2?
I don't see it. don't see it.
Could you imagine though?
Like I said, they're coming
why I
out.
said
They're
one
gonna have,
day,
they're
rough
gonna have a
start.
chip. Another
Yeah,
team.
very
They're gonna
rough
have a
start.
chip on
That's
their
why I said
shoulder.
1A could be wide open this year
Right.
if they start off 0-2.
They're gonna have
I
a
tell you
chip
what,
on
if
their
Wichita Christian scores a lot of points, Oak Grove keeps the time of possession under their belt.
Right.
So who do you go here? Oak Grove at home, Wichita Christian's high-powered offenses. I think a Wichita Christian goes on the road and gets it done.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Hey, we're gonna all be debating on Friday night. That's for sure.
We're going to have a lot of
Checking
people
out
going this way.
We're going to have our discussion at Kings.
Yeah, you're right.
STM.
How
Now
about
this one's going to be a toss-up because I think they're awesome.
STM and Elliott.
Huh? All right.
I went with Oak Grove on the last one.
I went
Oak Grove.
Well, I
Wichita
went Oak, I
Christian.
went Oak Grove.
He's the only one that went Wichita.
Yeah, Jordy's the only one watched up Christian. Okay.
0-1 St. Thomas More loses in heartbreak fashion last week to Madison Prep walk-off field goal. Alexandria beat the hell out of Faraday last week. Walk-off fashion, give me 60 points. Alexandria at home welcomes Walker Howard and the St. Thomas More Cougars. I'm going to start off the picks and give it to Donald.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. But what I'm going to say is there's no way Coach Hightower, defense, going to let Ellis score 50, 60 points on them. That's no way. And I see Walker Howard have a lot to prove. Excuse me for saying his name wrong. I'm going with STM. I'm going to go with STM by 13.
Oh, he gave you a
13,
number.
14. Yeah, I'm going with STM, guys. I think STM will. I know Elliott is at home, but I'm thinking STM going pull it off.
Donald, Alexandria's going to be rocking in that student
Yeah,
section.
Jordan, but I don't see them.
I don't think these kids are phased by. I don't think these kids are phased by a home field advantage. I think these kids are so smart up here that they're poised for a big crowd.
Yeah, but
think so.
like I said, man, I don't see the STM defense giving up all those punts. I don't see that, George.
Tell me something. If Alexandria beats St. Thomas More at home, hold on. If they beat them at home, is Alexandria one of the favorites to win the state title
You
this
could
year?
give them the title. You could give them the title. I'm saying it now. If
five-A?
Alec
Alexandria,
beat they
Canada,
void. If Alec
Number
beat
three, ranked number three
if
right
Alec beat STM, okay, you could give them the title. But Walker Howard
They
and
ain't gonna give it to
STM
'em.
defense ain't gonna let
They
that happen.
They have to go
They're
through
gonna have to earn it.
Acadiana.
They're gonna have
They
to earn
to
it.
go straight through Acadiana's teeth.
Come on, Garrett.
Right.
What you
So
got?
I'm going STM. Garrett, what you got, bro?
I'm like, I don't
can't believe
think
you
I
got
don't think
him by that
STM's gonna basically it was such a close game last week. I think Alexandria is a good ball club. I think they got a lot of
Damn
firepower,
good ball club.
But I think STM's gonna go in there and beat them.
Say damn on
Coach
live.
Vinny Belair,
Cody.
Coach
Yeah.
Vinny Belair, can you call in? I'd like to get a comment from you. 290-6091. Vinny Belair, 290-6091. I'm
I
sorry,
don't
George.
see STM going 0-2. Alexandria will be tough, but I think STM's gonna come out on top. So
Parker
very
P.
tight
Cap.
game.
Let me tell you right now, I'm tired of hearing y'all say I can't see this team going 0-1, 0-2. Oak Grove proved to y'all last week when y'all picked them to win. And I'm gonna tell y'all what, I'm a Walker Howard fan.
I didn't pick Oak Grove last week.
You just shook, yeah. I love Walker Howard. I love STM. But you're going against the number 3 team in the state right now in Alexandria in a 5A powerhouse. And I think it's a damn good game. And STM ain't winning by no 13. I got Alexandria with the win at home.
I tell you what.
Are you serious?
I
Yep.
tell you
Are
what.
you serious?
You talking
Holy?
like they're
You
trash.
going against Walker Howard
I-
and the STM defense?
Yes, I am.
I
All
tell you
right,
what.
bro. Okay.
I tell you
Okay.
what.
Yes, I am.
I tell you what. It's gonna be a 4-quarter football game. It's gonna come down to maybe who has the ball last, and I think Alexandria close one at home. They get it done.
Hey!
Special teams.
Special teams.
Special teams.
Mr. Donald.
Is Alexandria's
Fellas,
special
I
teams
can't-
as
Mr. Donald, but listen.
good as STM?
I'm not saying Alexandria's going to win
That's
by.
what I'm saying.
I wouldn't be
Is it as
surprised
good?
if STM
I-
goes.
I understand what you're
Their
saying.
skill
This is a
players,
5A.
I think their
But
skill
can you
players are
see-
awesome. But it's special teams. Field goal. Can they get it with the last second field goal?
Yeah.
Can
But
they
are
do
you
that?
saying
That's the
that
key.
STM could lose 2 games in a row?
It's possible.
It's
I
possible.
don't see it holding.
It's possible. It is.
I don't see
That's-
it, bro.
dude,
They
that's
can
tough
lose. They
matchups.
can lose 2 games in a row
And when
and still win the state title down the road.
Right. Oh, I agree.
that's
So-
And that's the truth.
put it this
That
way,
is
Donald,
true.
it's tough.
Okay, we got a call coming
Hold on,
in.
we got one more game.
But I won't be surprised if they would pull up an upset. But I'm just going with
I'm
Alexandria
pulling
at
for
home.
St. Thomas More.
That's what I'm pulling. I
Yeah.
love Walker Howard.
I'm
Yeah.
pulling
But,
for St.
dude,
Thomas More.
5A
I'm
football,
just leaning towards
Alexandria?
Alexandria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's a game I would like to go to.
Oh,
I'm
I wish
telling
we
you.
can.
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
after work, I'd go over there soon.
Final game of the recap of the caps.
And the hardest one.
And the hardest one, folks.
All right.
And it is
Now
going to
flip a
be
coin.
We're about to have an argument right here.
1-0 Acadiana at 1-0 Catholic of Baton Rouge. Folks, this game last year, Catholic of Baton Rouge had a big passing touchdown to get it done at Memorial Stadium.
That's Coach Belair.
Oh, that's-
Okay.
Okay.
You got Acadiana's veer. You got Catholic of Baton Rouge's spread. You got new head coach in town who left Catholic of Point Capee and is now the head man at Catholic of Baton Rouge. You still got the same head guy at Acadiana. My question for you, does the 5A state champs beat the Division I state champs on the road? I say Acadiana revenge game in their hearts, in their minds, and they get it done close fashion on the road. They're not going to make the mistakes they made last year.
I agree.
I'll
I
go
think
with you on this one,
I
yeah.
think Acadiana
Yeah.
has a score to settle. They went in there last year, and lost a very close game. I think Acadiana goes in there and does what they have to do, control the clock, and that veer is not going to be stopped.
I
Donald?
agree.
Yeah. Hey, man.
I agree.
Acadiana.
I got Acadiana winning that
Yeah.
one.
These last 7 games have been hard and stressful. I've been doing some research. Catholic of BR had an impressive win over a Maryland team who I went and looked them up, and they were one of the top teams in Maryland.
Yeah.
And they dominated them in Maryland.
I think in
And-
order for Acadiana to win this game, they got to play their best game on
I
defense.
think the only way Acadiana wins this game is they get the ball first and waste half the clock in the first quarter.
That defense,
It's-
though, Holden.
I
That
know,
defense.
Yeah.
But man, Catholic BR, I know a few boys that's about to. One of them's
Yeah.
committed to LSU, and a few
Yeah,
others. I'm
yeah.
going with Catholic BR.
Acadiana could not give
Yeah.
up the big play
Right.
last year, and they
They
did.
did, right.
They cannot give it up this year.
No.
I'm
they,
the only one going with Catholic BR.
they cannot give up those big plays. They actually have to put
And I'm
it
a-
together
and I
and
root- and I root
control
for
that ball.
Acadiana.
That's what they have to do.
I root for Acadiana, but man, to go to Maryland and beat a top team in that state, that's impressive.
That's very impressive.
Acadiana gonna take it.
Oh, and I won't be surprised if they do.
Well, we got some hot picks this week.
Oh, that's
Yes,
going to be
indeed.
awesome.
That is
But
the,
these aren't picks that they're just trash teams.
No.
No,
But-
man.
but let me tell you something.
These
All of
some
these
awesome
picks that we argue-
quality teams.
Somebody's gonna get one
Right.
of these picks right.
But all of these picks.
Somebody's
that's
not
just-
gonna finish
that-
500.
that's a flip. That's a flip. I mean, because you throwing a coin in the air and just saying, I don't know.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, that's what it is. I
We
mean,
got Coach
talk to
Vinny
Coach.
on the. Coach Vinny.
you're on the air with Under the Lights. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to tonight?
Vinny.
Vinny Belair.
How's it going, Coach? What's going on tonight?
Oh, just listening to y'all show. Y'all doing a great job as usual.
Coach, we're going to start things off and talk about Catholic of Poincaré and Livonia last week. What an outstanding matchup that me and Gary spoke on last week. We said we want to see it more often, kind of like a battle of New Roads. What was it like for the New Roads area? How was that that game brought up, and what was the vibe with it?
Oh man, it was really exciting. Have not played those guys in a decade, and it had actually been 14 years since we had beaten Livonia. So it was a real exciting time for Poincaré. Had a lot of Catholic Poincaré alumni out there, you know, standing on the fence, and you know, heard it all week long. Hey, you got to beat Livonia. You got to beat Livonia. You got to beat Livonia. And man, our kids did a great job. They executed well. Our coaches had a great game plan on both sides of the ball, and man, Livonia's got they got 2 guys at wide receiver that, you know, they're gonna be playing at the next level. And it was an exciting time. Great atmosphere, big crowd, and you know, like I said, our kids really played well, played focused football.
Coach, let's talk about when you got the announcement that you were going to be named the head football guy.
Well, you know, this actually kind of started a year ago. Coach Semino and I have been good friends for a long time, and you know, we kind of started talking about this a year ago. He had some other options that he was looking at, and so it was on my radar. And really going back to 1999, that's when Catholic Poincaré first got on my radar as a coach, and I always kind of said, man, I'd be interested in that job if it ever came open. And so it was kind of in the works. Once he took the Catholic of Baton Rouge job, which I'm going to go ahead and go on record and say I'm picking Catholic of Baton Rouge
Hey, there you go.
this week against the KDM.
Hey,
when
look at that.
when it came open, you know, it was more or less just principal called me in, and we talked about it and felt like it would be a good fit moving forward. And it was really a no-brainer for me. You talking about great kids, great support, great community. We have a great school, and kids that really work hard, and families that support us. So it was really a no-brainer for me. I love those kids. I love that community. And, man, our kids are just bought in, and they had a really, really good summer. Worked extremely hard. Very pleased with them.
Coach, speaking of the summer, I've been dying to know this for many years now. Can you elaborate on what is Catholic of Perkapi football, and what is this levy run that so many people hear about?
Well, we do a deal where it's a conditioning drill where we do 12 play drives is basically what it is, and we build up in the summer. We start with an 8-play drive, and then a 10-play drive, and we do multiple of those. And then on the last day of summer, before we start our camp, we go out to the levee that night, and the whole community comes out, parks their trucks up the levee with the headlights, and we do our 12-play drives up the levee for all the fans and everything, and alumni and parents. And it's a grueling workout for kids, but it's kind of a rite of passage that, hey, season's starting officially now because we're doing our regular run, and it's just an exciting night. So it's getting good work, building that mental and physical toughness, and just getting everybody kind of thinking that, hey, football's here.
Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go, the mic right there. Do we see a STM and Perkapi Catholic matchup in the next year or so?
STM Parkview matchup?
Yes, sir.
I think Parkview is on the way back.
No, not Parkview, Perkapi, your team.
Oh, STM.
Oh, that's a little jump, huh?
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
That's a jump.
Can we see that?
I still have great relationships with those guys from when I coached at STM, man. Coach Hightower is a mentor to me, and man, if they want to play us and take their JV team and play our varsity, we might sign up for that.
I don't blame
They
you
do a
there,
great
Coach.
job.
That was a good answer.
I understand, Coach. I understand.
Coach, go ahead, Donald.
Okay, my last one. What's some of your horses this year, Coach? Who's your standout players thus far? I know it's only been one game, but who's your standouts this year?
Man, we what's so great is we have a lot of new faces this year. So outside looking in, people think we have a lot of question marks. We lost Matthew Longwa, he's playing at LSU.
Yeah.
We lost Aiden Vosberg, who's pitching at LSUE. And a lot of those guys, and then going back to the year before when we played for the state championship, we had a lot of 3- and 4-year starters, and all those guys are gone. So the guys we have now are not 3- and 4-year starters, but they're still guys that got some good, valuable playing time last year, and they kind of feel like, hey, we can play ball too, and we want to show it. But some of those guys, Hunter Beard at the fullback position, a guy that obviously we run the veer, and the fullback is such an important position for us. And Hunter was actually one of our slot backs and got forced into action last year due to injuries at fullback. And man, he just took that spot over. And now as a senior, man, he's a great football player. Quarterback, we had a quarterback battle going into the season between sophomore Hayden Elliott and junior Connor Ashe, and the sophomore ended up winning the battle. But what's kind of cool is we have a true 1A and 1B at quarterback. Both those guys can play, and we hadn't really had that the last couple of years. So those guys are doing a good job. Andrew Jewell is a senior for us, who's a guy that's developed his body into he's 6'1", 190-pound guy that's just kind of sculpted his body into a Greek god type deal, and just turned himself into a great athlete, competitor, physical guy. So those are kind of our standouts right now. And, I mean, I could list a O-line, a bunch of new faces on there. We only have one senior on the O-line, but, man, those guys are physical. Those guys love to get after it, and they're really doing a good job for us.
Okay.
Coach, I got 3 final questions before we get you out of here.
Yes, sir.
First question will be thoughts on Ascension Episcopal. When's the last time you beat that Ascension Episcopal Blue Gator football team? And next question will be your thoughts on your competitive district it looks like this year. And final question will be any old helmets laying around the office where we can get it on this table.
Yes.
All right. Well, Ascension Episcopal, we have yet to beat them. And I'll tell you my thoughts on them are same thoughts I always have. Extremely explosive on offense, very well coached, Matt does a great job over there. Those kids play extremely hard for him. And, you watch teams on film and you see kids on the sideline and you look at their body language and you see the kind of excitement they have, and it kind of tells you, what kind of program you're dealing with. And, those guys just believe in one another. They believe in their system. And this year is no different. And, every year you come down to the wire with those guys, and, we just haven't gotten it done ever against them. So, it's going to be another battle. We're going to have to play our best ball to stay in that ball game. And, hopefully our kids are up for the challenge. We're battling some injuries right now. We're battling some COVID things right now. So it is what it is. But, no excuses. It's 1A football. You got who you got, and you got to go out and play. And that's what we're going to do. But defensively, they're extremely vanilla, which to me is always the mark of a well-coached football team. They're not trying to trick you. They're not trying to do anything out of the ordinary. They're going to line up and play their positions the way they're meant to be played and follow their assignments, and they're just not going to beat themselves. If you're going to beat them, you're going to have to beat them, So extremely impressed, but also just grateful to have a quality opponent to go against, makes us better. And this game is always a measuring stick for us. So, and that's really the entirety of our non-district schedule. It's really beefed up this year, and we got our work cut out for us if we're going to compete until district starts. Just another tough, stiff challenge for us Friday night. Second question about our district, I would challenge anybody to find a better district in the state of Louisiana, regardless of class. 5-1A is extremely competitive. Stacked with great coaches. You look at what Coach Blaze is doing at Westminster, injecting some life back into that program. Coach David, always extremely well coached at OC. Always, you have to play them and beat them. They're not going to give you a game. Coach Shiver at St. Ed's, we played those guys for the district championship last year. They always give us a great game. Coach Harper at Sacred Heart, my gosh, physical, well coached, well disciplined. Man, you've been in a battle when you play Sacred Heart. You got Coach Caruth at North Central, who has injected some serious life and excitement into that program. You better come and bring your best ball every week in our district, which is exciting. As coaches and players, you want to play against the best every week and have the best competition, and we have that in our district, which is extremely exciting and, a little bit can be a little bit intimidating at times because you never get a break, You never get a break. You got to be ready every week to prepare and bring your best. And what was the third question about the helmet?
Hey, got any old helmets that are out of date and can line up on this table?
Absolutely. I'd be honored to get our helmet on that table. That'd be awesome.
Tell them to bring it over. I'll pick it up from them.
Yeah, so they got some great matchups down the road with Catholic of Point Capee. We wish you best of luck this Friday and can't wait to recap the game Friday night. Best of luck to the Catholic of Point Capee Hornets on Friday night.
Hey, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Get that helmet, Coach. Bring it by the house. I'll pick it up from you. We're around the corner.
You got it. Donald lives right down the street from me, and I'll tell you what, it's always good to have that guy in the neighborhood. He's got our back. Great family. I coached Donald's youngest son, Danielle, and at Westminster, and boy, he was a stud for us. Great kid, extremely coachable, huge heart, huge work ethic, and that's because he comes from good people. So I'm a little biased. I just couldn't tell you all that.
Well,
thank you, Coach.
We look forward to having your helmet on our table, Coach.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all very much. Y'all do a good job.
Hey, Cookie, say hello, Coach. She's in the audience.
All right. Well, tell her I said hello.
Coach, have a good night. We'll see you down the road.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
All right, Coach.
Bye-bye.
That was the head football coach of the Catholic of Point Capee Hornets. Congratulations on getting the head job this year. He's doing an outstanding job so far. What y'all think?
Yeah.
I think
Great
that's
guy.
awesome.
Great guy.
I love that Levy run.
That sounds fun.
I'm not even
I
part
never
of the
saw
community.
it, but I heard it was
Hey,
it was
I like to
challenging.
find out when they do it. I'd go there and turn my truck lights on just to help. just to see him do it.
Yeah.
So
You're
some
right.
some great football in week 2. We look forward to it. Catch us tomorrow night at Opelousas Catholic versus Vermilion Catholic, and then Friday night it will be homecoming for 5 of us that are here. We got Bo Shannon and Port Barry, so we will see you there Friday night. And recap show Friday night somewhere around 10:30, 11 o'clock. We will find out once we leave Port Barry. Mr. Donald, you gonna meet us here?
Yeah, I will be at Opelousas High School in Bossier to see the Tigers take care of the Bearcats.
There it is. Final words before we sign off.
Oh, that's it.
Heading into week 2, final words.
All I can say is good luck to all the teams. You know, no matter who we pick, guys, we're supporting you guys 100% because, you know, high school football, high school sports in general, that's what we love. Good luck to everybody. Stay injury-free, stay healthy, and just good luck.
Donald,
That's it.
Mike,
I agree with him. Hopefully, everybody can stay healthy, stay away from that COVID. Try to get y'all vaccinations, y'all athletes out there, coaches, and that's about it.
Holden,
No, I just, I hope COVID kind of settles down. We've had some good games, get canceled and stuff. So, I hope we don't have that problem later on down the road.
Yep. So hearts and prayers are still with those affected from the hurricane. Hearts go out to those that are missing games because of COVID. Everyone's in our prayers. We wish all the coaches, players, best of luck this upcoming week. All the cheerleaders, the band members, the trainers, the list goes on. The dance teams have a great Thursday and Friday and Saturday of high school football. Enjoy it. It goes way too fast.
Right.
Enjoy the memories. We look forward to seeing some scores. We look forward to recapping. We look forward to seeing the upsets, the thrills, and all the antics that go along with it. From myself, Big Cody, Holly Revere, Cookie, Mr. Donald, Mr. Gary Swallow, Mr. Mike, and Mr. Holden Lee, Jordan Taylor, signing off from now from Under the Lights. We'll see you Friday night.
Have a blessed weekend, guys.